Postmates is the one app that I use more frequently than anything else. I use it for food. I use it for extracurricular items.
Yep.
Like glue. I love Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
I think what he meant to say was miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Extracurricular.
5.
Right? I use it for sandwiches, calamari. I use it for fixtures, lamp fixtures. I use it for
pet food,
everything. Without it, I don't even know what I would do without it. It literally is one of my favorite things.
Bobby's a creature of convenience. So without Postmates, he is dead.
Yeah, and it's also they're pretty quick and on time. They're nice. The whole thing is so convenient. I just can't deal, really. I'm so happy that they're sponsoring this beautiful podcast. Tell them about it.
Thank you, Postmates. For a limited time, Postmates is giving our listeners $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days. To start your free deliveries, download the app and use the code BELLY. That's the code BELLY for $100 of free delivery credit for your first 7 days when you download the Postmates app. Anything you need, anytime you need it, extracurricular activities, Postmate it, download Postmates, and save with the code BELLY. Enjoy the show.
I just woke up, so I'm in a foggy state of not being here, but being like I'm branding it right now.
Oh, so you're warging.
I'm warging right now. Yeah. Is we on? You're on. Stops. Go ahead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
A stop sign ain't nothing but an octagon. An octagon ain't gonna tell me what to do. Woohoo!
Yeah. Is that it? I thought that was a theme song.
I told you not to talk.
Sorry, dude.
I told you not to talk. Fucking Franken.
So stupid.
You're the Frankenstein of fucking comedy.
Fuck.
What is that? He's like, look at him. He's thick and he's good. Listen, I'm not gonna talk to you yet. What? All right. So I just woke up. I have to introduce and I have to do something. Now, over the years of being the Celeb King and being a leader and being a hero to many, and also being not to some, not a hero.
Yeah,
I've developed certain things to survive in life, and I've developed a thing called the Trelai.
The Trelai.
Yes, the Trelai is your truth and a lie at the same time. And I'm going to call it, because I have to fucking do Eric Griffin's podcast.
Yeah, you're going to do it, right?
No, in Century Center after this, and I'm going to get out of it.
Wait, why don't you want to do it?
Because I'm going to show you this new word called the Trelai.
Oh, so, so you actually technically can do it. You just want to show us.
No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it because I had 2 hours of sleep last night. I'm so fucking tired. All right, so Eric Griffin, and then, wait, also,
2 hours of sleep.
I just turned up. Yeah.
It's 1 o'clock.
I know.
It's 1 o'clock.
But you come in here.
No,
you location shame me. You location shame me because I don't live in a fancy house like all your fancy friends, like Joe Rogan and everybody, right? You come in here, I fuck my girl. You come in here, you know what I mean? You're putting your heat in, and I don't want it. Don't put your heat in.
There's no heat.
All right, so I'm telling you right now, I gotta call Eric because he's really looking forward to it. And
I love Eric.
And if you laugh, he's gonna know.
Okay.
Right, so you pretend.
Don't tell him I'm here.
I'm not gonna.
I don't want to be associated with this.
Okay.
Yeah, just tell him
Good.
I'm
That's
not
all right.
Don't tell him. You should have FaceTimed.
Yo.
Hey man, is there any way to push today or no? Because something bad happened.
No. What happened? You all right?
My favorite uncle died.
My favorite uncle died excuse. All right.
No, I'm being what are you talking about?
I'm gonna kid you. I'm just teasing you. I understand. It's all good.
No, but are you going out of town this weekend?
No, I'm not here this weekend. But we can go tomorrow, Thursday.
So you're in town this weekend?
Yeah.
Let's do Thursday. Anytime Thursday. I'll even get up early. All right, I love you.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Just let me know if you need anything from me.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm just devastated.
I understand.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You're a
professional.
No, my uncle, my favorite uncle did die.
Eric's
A long time ago, though, huh?
But a way long time. So that's, thank you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Trely.
So you're
He's not lying.
trying. You're
He's not lying.
right. I'm not lying.
Had to hold up in court.
Right. Yeah, thank you. And so
I actually approve of this.
yeah, thank you.
And I'm gonna steal this move.
Dude, it's not. I'm not. You don't have to steal it because I gave it to you for free.
Yeah, you did.
I'm teaching here.
But it's your move. You're dropping.
It is my
knowledge,
move.
though.
It is my move, and I need credit. So now, you've broken so many rules since you've been in here.
I'm sorry.
and-
I don't know
and
the
you know what it-
rules. When I walked in, I felt like it was racist. I went, should I take my shoes off? And then as soon as I said that, I went, fuck, that's racist.
Yeah, that's racist.
Sorry, dude.
And can I say that? And I'll tell you why you're like this. You're like this because you walk around in life. You're a winner. Okay, like
Depends who you ask, but yeah.
You're a good-looking guy. You're a bigger in stature. You're like the bane of comedy. Thick back muscles.
He's like a Clegane brother.
Right, he's like a Clegane brother.
I don't know. What
He's successful in all these little arenas that he goes into. Right, he did the UFC, and then he goes when he woke up one day, I want to do comedy and do podcasting. He did that, killed it on that. And this is the kind of trickster this fat, not fat at all. Sorry,
Thick.
Thicky.
He's got a thick dick. He's got a thick head.
Yep.
Everything about him is thick.
Okay.
Small
And
head.
it's true.
Yeah, my head's not big.
No, that's true. But he's also a deceiver.
How so?
I'll tell you how. You didn't do my podcast for a little when I started it, and then one day you came up to me and goes, "When am I going to do your podcast?" You kind of gave me shit about it.
Correct.
Right.
At the Comedy Store.
Great.
When I saw
you
it.
remember.
Yes,
You remember.
I remember this.
So then I go, "Holy fuck, we got to get him on." And how many times have I asked you to be on this since then?
Here's the problem, Bob.
No. How many times no, let's answer the question first.
Multiple times. Multiple times.
Oh, thank
Here's
you.
the thing. Monday night? Monday night? What the fuck, man? Monday nights?
What's Monday night?
I got a
Game of Thrones
3-year-old.
What?
I got a 3-year-old. I could be playing grab ass with you on a Monday night.
You have children?
Yeah, I got a 3-year-old, man.
Why don't you say so in the front? Every time you had kids?
Yeah, I just thought I was bullshitting you.
yeah.
No.
Oh, shit.
If I'm not working, I'm at home with the kiddo, man.
I know, but Monday night
How
is...
dare you? Monday night?
What is a Monday night?
And then when you left, me and my friend sat around.
Is SpongeBob on Monday nights? Is there...
Who works Monday nights?
Everyone...
Just Monday Night Football.
All right. So that's it. You have children.
Yeah, and then it's at night too. So it's a bit of a beast. So I went, if you can move it up, I'm here, man.
But you do stand-up at night, too?
Not on Mondays.
Yeah, but you
I
do
don't
it...
work Sundays and Mondays. My only 2 days
Oh,
off.
those are the two ones. Oh, so you look at it as like a Monday through Wednesday, 5-day a job.
Correct.
Oh, that's a good
But
way.
even Mondays, now Monday days are packed because I record 2 podcasts, 2 shows.
Oh, with the Rat King?
Nope, I do Below the Belt, which is just me for Showtime. Then I do Firing the Kid with Brian.
Ooh, so the Rat King deceived you.
No, me and him do that on Tuesdays.
Oh, you still do it?
50 shows.
He's
What
talking
the
about
fuck?
Mondays.
Oh, I thought he was. I thought he
No,
had
that's on
fucked you already.
Tuesday. No.
I thought he had fucked you already.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
I'm gonna say this though about him. Prepare yourself.
Yeah. He's a little crazy.
Prepare yourself. I love Theo Vaughn, but there's stuff going on beneath the eyes.
The dark arts is what he calls it.
I call it the dark arts as well. Okay. He's getting big.
He's getting famous.
Yeah,
He's selling tickets on the road.
I know. He might do some things that are very Dane Cookish. Although we've had Dane Cook on the
Jesus
show, we
Christ,
love
this-
him. Before Dane Cook 15 years ago. Oh fuck.
You're talking about,
We're not gonna edit that. We're not gonna edit
You're
that.
talking about the MySpace thing.
Yeah. There we go, Brendan. There you go.
Yeah.
Right. I want to say this too. When I see you around, how am I towards you?
You're the best, and that's the reason why I came. And I want to tell this and tell your friends this. When I was doing stand up, I'm super self conscious around other comics, and you're one of the one guys who's always been in my corner, always. So I love you for that.
But the reason why is because I know how stand up comedy is cruel.
Yeah.
Right, and And I just know how people can be. And also, I didn't say that just to say it. I saw you.
Yeah.
A couple of times. And I made an assessment in my mind. Like when you see certain people do stand up that don't normally do it, and they're doing it because they kind of were successful on something else, and they moved over. A lot of times, it's fucking annoying.
I would say the worst.
It is the worst.
Yeah.
Actors have done it. I was gonna throw some Piven.
That's fair.
That's fair, right?
That's fair.
Piven. Rappaport does it now. Mm-hmm. But you're more like rap. Not that I think you're. I mean, Rappaport's starting, but you guys are kind of in the same category of just. To me, it doesn't seem intrusive because, you guys are already like funny and cool, and you guys just seem like comics to me. There's certain actors that do it, and you're just gonna go, what?
The audience can feel it too.
Yeah,
they can feel it. If they're on the lineup, you can feel the mood change.
Yeah, but you're just an enigma, man. You do podcasts, you do this, and it's so difficult. How do you feel, going from the UFC to this? I mean, and you've become successful at this, much like Theo was on he doesn't want people to know, but he was on Road Rules.
Yeah.
And one time I brought him up that way.
He did not like that.
No, he didn't like it at all.
One time I roasted him for it, right? Because we have a show where we roast each other. And
Yeah.
I brought that up. I could tell it hit a nerve. I've never touched on it again. I was like, you know what? Too far.
Yeah, yeah, but
That's the line?
Yeah,
All right. I'll back off from there.
But how is that too far?
I don't. It's his history. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he could bring up some stuff that I don't like. We're like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I brought him up like this. Like, I've never seen a comic go from, like, an MTV, like, he was a beach body kind of a guy on that, right? He had, like, he tinted the tips of his hair. He was buff, good-looking,
He's
white
on
guy.
Road Rules.
He was on.
Yeah, Road Rules,
Road
babe.
Rules.
Yeah.
I never saw it, but I'm just assuming that's what he looked like.
It's the real world, but on a
On
bus.
a, yeah,
bus.
on a
Okay,
same
Winnebago,
shit.
Yeah.
But he
the
still
same shit.
probably did all that stuff, right?
100%,
Okay, thank you.
But he was also only like 19, wasn't he?
He was
He was
pretty
a
young.
baby.
You're the kid,
Or
yeah.
was he 30? I don't know. Or was this last year?
You never know. You never know with him.
We don't know.
You don't know with him. But and so I brought him up that way, and he goes after the show, "Can I talk to you for a second?" I go, "Yeah," and he goes, "Can you just not bring that up ever again?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "I guess it, but he should be proud of it because he did this Road Rules, and then who reinvents himself to become like now a comedy institution?"
But I relate to that with Theo. Like, if you brought me up and went, all right, everybody, give it up for UFC fighter, after I've been like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Will you drop the UFC thing? You know how hard I've worked in this business so I don't get labeled a UFC fighter? So for
Right.
Theo, I think it's like, dude, real world, that makes it seem like a gimmick.
Yeah.
I've worked my ass off. Don't refer to me as the MTV comic. Like, that doesn't help me, man.
Right. Because that was only one season of his life, right? 3 months versus 10 years of working on a craft. And now you just revert back to him being a real world guy. I mean, Road Rules. It makes sense.
Ay, Sky, comadre, hangodoe. Sunduye, sunduye.
Plus, Road Rules is not on anymore. How's
When
that?
I'm doing this right now, I'm irritated.
But I bet there's things that
Now let me say something. Okay?
if I brought, I'm sure there's things that if I brought you up, you're like, dude, really? Like
okay,
some
well,
old school
try-
shit.
All right, then try.
Try.
Well, you've done some great stuff.
No,
So
but
it's
no.
It's different.
No, I want you to bring up something
If
that I
I-
did in the
hold
past
on, if
that's
I-
gonna
if-
make me feel weird.
Not feel weird, but if I only referred to an old Mad TV, you know him from just Mad TV. Like, dude, that was 20 years ago.
Right. Yeah, but to me though, being, on a sketch show, it's the same ballpark.
It's still in
my
the same
mind.
line
Yeah,
of
yeah.
comedy, so it wouldn't
Yeah,
be as
you're not
horrible.
going to be ashamed of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think it's shame. It's just setting him up incorrectly.
It's shame. Well, for me, for the longest, I was ashamed of my UFC career. When someone brought up, like, dude, ditch that, man. Quit asking about that. But so I just think for Theo, it's like he doesn't want to be labeled as that. Same way I don't be labeled
Right.
as a meathead or a fighter.
Right.
Yeah, but
Like, don't put me in that box.
Yeah, but okay, so I get it. But if you're playing at the Comedy Store, it's fine. I get it. I get it, and I never did it again. And with you, if I brought you up. I would never have mentioned UFC. I don't think
You don't. You're great about it.
You
I'm so
literally
great with
started the podcast with a song that said Octagon.
Stop sign Octagon.
Yeah, but
Get it
that
on or some
I
shit.
know.
was like,
No,
it was
no,
kind
no.
of catchy though, so I didn't mind.
It was a Stephen Pearl song. Stephen Pearl was a comedian from San Francisco back in the late 70s, and he started with Robin Williams and everybody, Brian Bradley, all these guys. And I saw him perform when I was a doorman at the Comedy Store. He used to play the Comedy Store in La Jolla back in the 90s, like twice a year. And he dressed like Elvis Costello. He had like brimmed glasses. He wore like a teacher's like 70s coat.
Sounds awesome.
He had pins on it. And he would go up and sing songs. And one of the songs he would sing is this one. A stop sign ain't nothing but an octagon. An octagon ain't gonna tell me what to do. And then he'd go, woo! And the audience would be dead silent, right? And I would be in the back of the room as a kid, with my Comedy Store.
How old are you?
Cackling. I'm 23, 24 years old. And I'd be like, in the back laughing, right? And he'd go, hey, you like that song? You know what I mean? I go, yeah, so why would you sing that?
No one else likes it.
No one likes it. And also he would do it, sing like that.
Get out.
In between jokes that it was no.
That's his transition.
Yeah, there was no transition. That's what made it like weird and quirky. Like he would
This guy's
tell a
great.
joke about like Clinton,
Yeah.
right? And they go, a stop sign, right? And you're like, wow, that's crazy. But that's why I say it had nothing to do with the thing. But now I see the relation.
I love that guy though.
And then you try to location shame me, huh?
No one walked in. I just said,
What was the question?
Were you shocked at the condition at which we live?
no.
Be honest.
It was right in line.
Be honest.
Why you keep laughing
Yeah,
though,
so why are you
bro?
laughing now? When you no.
You were coming at me. No, I think it's. I wish I could do my podcast out of my house, so I don't have to leave.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is,
No.
Why are you laughing?
Why are you laughing?
it's that awkward laugh.
Yeah.
No, what I think is. Because this is a successful show, and I think it's really cool.
Oh my
is that you guys do it out of here, which usually I'm used to doing, going to studios and stuff like that. Which I think it's. This
he's
is
saying
a studio.
it's not a studio, babe.
No, I'm saying it's cool that you
Are
built
you
this
studio
here.
shaming us?
This is a studio. I made a studio here.
No, it's cool.
All right. No, listen.
It's just no, I didn't know. No one gave me a heads up.
I know.
Because they're like, Bobby's just waking up, so kind of pipe down. I was like, wait, he sleeps in the studio?
Did you think you were coming to a studio?
Yeah. I had no idea.
Oh.
I'm like, he slept. He was working all night, so he slept in the studio. Wow, I like the work.
Yeah. People sleep here at nights.
You know,
Yeah, my
Yeah,
family.
his
from
family
the
from the Philippines sleep here at nights. Yeah.
really?
They
We
sleep-
push the tables back. We vacuum and we
It's
put
like
little
Amistad. It's like
mattress
Amistad
pads.
in here.
There's literally 3 beds here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
That's true.
Yeah. You don't
This
smell
is
it?
fantastic.
Yeah.
Man. It does have a funky smell.
You son of a bitch! You did it again.
No,
man.
what? No, I
You're
like
doing,
it.
No,
I like
you're
the funk.
doing it again.
I like the funk.
Oh, like funky cool.
Yeah.
Funky.
Yeah. Like, oh man, this is awesome. This is ethnic in here in a good way. In a great way.
Very
Thank you. You
great
fucking
way.
ass. You're a deceiver,
In a
man.
good way, man.
No, you're a trickster, dude.
So how many people live here total?
This is not some sort of fucking
22.
human trafficking business or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I'm trying to figure things out, man.
No. It's we live here with 6 animals, and then when her island gook relatives come to visit, 9 of them, 10 of them sit in here.
That's cool.
And they make stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask you too, because you do so much stand up. So you did fight in the UFC. It's so funny because when I didn't know, I'm kind of a big UFC fan, and when I saw you perform before I even knew that you were in the UFC, I saw you do stand up. So in my head, and I knew that you were doing a podcast with Callan. So I went on to UFC, my fight pass on my iPad, and the first fight, I go, he fights, and you almost died in that one.
But did I?
Yeah, the
Which one
first one.
was it?
I forgot which one, but I remember the first.
Probably no Nogueira one, I would assume.
It could have
or
been
maybe
that
the
one.
Roy Nelson
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
There's some bad
it was
ones,
probably
yeah.
Roy Nelson.
Yeah.
Because that was probably the one, because I knew who Roy Nelson was.
You
But
hate it when people bring this up.
Not really. I mean, I've gone on some comedians podcast where it's supposed to be a comedy podcast, and they just talk like real X's and O's about fighting, which I hate.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are we doing?
I'm not doing that.
I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying, but now I'm so far removed from it.
Yeah.
I don't really care, especially with Bobby. Bobby gets a free pass whatever the hell he wants to do. He
You
can't do anything.
You opened with "You nearly died."
Yeah, that's not great. Now, yeah, that's not the best. But
No, I saw
should we
you-
bring
no.
up Theo's real world shit again?
No, but
We've just been over this.
no, but I
Hey, bring up the highlights of Theo on Real World. Can you do that, bro?
that's not what I do. I was
Critique
just
each episode.
Brendan. I wasn't doing that. I was just being honest.
Yeah, so you went to it.
I
saw
went to
bad
the Fight Club.
knockout.
You almost died.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's why he's doing comedy. You know what I mean? But that's not the truth, because then I saw other fights and you were good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely won more than I lost. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's not what even the fucking question I was going to ask you. The question I was going to ask you is, because I know it's nothing compared to it, but I was on a wrestling team in high school.
Okay.
And I used to go to these tournaments, and I remember being so nervous because I had to cut weight, and then I don't know. There was ask my brother. My brother,
Wait, what? Tell Brendan what weight class you were in.
98 pounds, 105.
This is high school or
high
middle
school, high school.
That
And-
makes
but-
sense.
I was a little guy. I'm genetically small. Okay, you guys want to shame me?
Nothing wrong with
No,
that, man.
Thank you so much, Biggie.
Nothing wrong.
Thank you, Thicky.
Thank
Yeah. You know what? I like you, man.
Thanks,
you and I
man.
should do like a movie where the big guy, little guy kind of a movie.
Yeah, like a
cop.
buddy
Yeah.
cop.
Yeah.
Like
But the
Arnold
big guy-
and Danny DeVito.
We
Right.
should remake Twins.
Twins.
You could be a quarter Asian, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could be.
You could be. Yeah, yeah.
It'd be whatever.
Yeah. But so did you get nervous before UFC fights?
Fuck yes. Terrified.
Really?
Terrified.
But is it different than the kind of nervous you would get when you did stand up? What's more nerve wracking?
Different, because then when I was fighting the UFC, it's like it's a terrified feeling. I'm not terrified to do stand up. I'm scared about failing, but I'm not terrified. Then also, let's say I have a set tonight at the Comedy Store. Let's say I bomb that. Well, I can jump over the improv and kind of redeem myself. In fighting, I'm terrified because if I make a mistake, I'm gonna get really, really hurt. I'm gonna get really hurt, and I'm gonna get embarrassed in front of all my family and friends, and I'm getting half my paycheck, and it's gonna make it harder for me to get a title shot. And I'm gonna end up in the hospital.
Right.
And then it's just the stakes are so high.
Wow.
And it's like, it's the pain business. So when you go into a fight, you're gonna get hurt. Even if you win, you're getting hurt. So it's a tough gig, man.
Yeah.
It's a really, really tough gig.
And also, people are really quick to jump ship. I think when a comedian has a bad set, that's generally forgivable. But someone like you, who's like, I consider to be like a fair-weathered fan, where you're like, you wanna, and you wanna lose this once, and you're out.
But that's how it is. But in comedy, now to that point, in fighting, they can be that way, and then that fighter might fight 6 months later, and you're going to tune in and watch. If Bobby releases a special and it's dog shit, those people are going to judge the shit out of him. They're going to jump off Bobby's shit.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. But I'm talking about just a regular Comedy Store set, where you're like, oh, you're working out material. You
He'll be
have that
fine.
like room to
Right.
wiggle. But not when you're.
But he's also so, I don't mean to interrupt you, but he's also so cemented as so fucking good at
Yeah.
comedy. He's like one of the funniest guys in the world.
Oh, my
and
God.
also, no one wants to follow Bobby. So if
Oh,
Bobby,
my God.
this is all true. So I had to follow him the other night. It was terrifying. So if Bobby has a bad set, he's almost like, it's like Anderson Silva, right? Anderson Silva looks like dog shit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. His
I'm
other fights
Anderson
were
Silva
so
of
good.
comedy? Wow. Whoa.
Like you've put in so much work and there's so much history
yeah.
that
Oh,
it
I
doesn't
see.
matter.
Oh,
Bobby's good.
that's
Yeah.
interesting that you
Anderson
say
Silva's
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DC's good. John Jones is good. Connor's good. These guys, certain guys, Joanna's good. Yeah, it's probably over for her. She's fine.
Yeah. But can I just say about the Johanna thing? All right. It's just that it's not the first. It's the second time she lost. The second time she lost to. There's something that happened with Joanna where I think
That's fair.
that when she was living in Poland, she was winning.
Before she had a stylist, she's wearing those bullshit polos.
Right. Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, she becomes like champ, or she loses that one. Then she has a stylist. She has like makeup on. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now?
And she's on a boat.
She starts perking up her titties on Instagram.
I see her on a boat with like, taking photos of her feet.
Yeah.
And like her tan. It's like,
I knew it was on.
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
not a good way. I knew she was going to lose.
Right.
I knew she was going to lose.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because not only because of that, but she didn't own it mentally. Remember, she lost that fight and she blamed it on everyone but herself.
Yeah.
Blamed it on her trainer, her nutritionist.
Right.
Everybody, but didn't own the loss. So she's fucked that next one.
Wow. Yeah. And then she's lost 3 now, right? In a row.
Rose, and then
She fought somebody. No,
Valentina.
Valentina, and she
well,
lost.
yeah,
right?
she was gonna lose against Valentina.
Yeah.
I think that was more expected.
She lost 3 in a row. Yeah.
3 in a row.
But
Yeah.
that was at
Runs.
125. That wasn't at.
But
Loss is a loss, though, to the fans, you know?
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
To me, though, the reason why I liked her so much is because she was so much superior over her competition at a point. I like watching that. I like watching sometimes.
You like watching greatness.
When somebody is just
Me too.
so good.
Me too.
Right, that they're like untouchable. Like if I'll
These
rewatch.
freaks.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'll rewatch like some older John Jones fights or older Anderson Silva fights because I just like, I like when somebody's dominant.
I like the idea that there's something like almost magical to it.
Yeah.
Like when Conor was going on his run, or when John was going on his run. Stylebender's doing that now. Like you can go back and watch these fights, and it's almost like a higher being what they're doing. So it makes me believe there's something else out there.
Yeah.
But then when they lose, you're like, fuck, nope. Nope.
Yeah.
It's just regular. Yeah, she's regular, dude. Just like everybody else.
But it's so funny that you were able to now what happened in terms of what made you quit UFC and then go into comedy?
Fighting happened just because I had no other options. I'm not naturally a born fighter. I don't like to fight. I'm not an aggressive person. I don't like to hurt people.
Can I honestly tell you something?
What?
I was saying, I said this to Andrew Santino or somebody like that, and we're talking about you, and I said I go, I can't believe that dude even fought in the first place.
I can't either.
Because he's such a soft, nice, kind of a gentle. You really are
And
like
I've
a
always
gentle
been this
giant.
way. I've always been, and I'm even in training. My coach is like, "You gotta get meaner, man. You gotta hit the guy." I'm like, "I don't want to hit him. Like you have to."
Yeah.
So to me, they were smart about it. They spun it as like it's just an athletic competition, man. Just beat that guy. You don't have to hurt him.
Yeah.
Just beat him. And that I didn't have that mean streak in me. It was never there.
And there was one fight I saw you do where you got knocked out or
Did
something.
you watch any of the wins?
All the losses.
And then you got up from the thing, and I almost gonna cry because you had this look like, duh.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. You had to sit, duh, look, and I go, oh, this is my friend. You know what I mean?
I'll watch back now if they replay a fight on TV or whatever
Yeah.
on ESPN. I'll watch it and be like, I don't know that guy. I can't believe I
You're
did that.
you're different. It's my hat's off to you. I'm being honest, and I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm getting emotional. That
Tell me if this is real emotion or if he's acting.
no, I'm being
Because he's a good actor.
no, I'm being real. Is that it's almost when I see guys like you. There's only a couple examples. Christina Pazitsky is an example. You're an example. Theo's an example. There's only a few examples of people who were doing something else, right? And then were able to reinvent themselves. But here's the thing, folks. The reinventing part, it doesn't happen right away. You have to fail for years in a row, which is what you did, right? Like, I remember when I started seeing him come around, he wasn't the guy he is now.
No way.
He was just figuring it out.
Yeah.
But to do that, to be brave enough to make a choice like that, and then to become funny, dude, I'm telling you right now, you're like getting spots that are like prime spots at A rooms in LA. That's fucking difficult to do, dude. Like, it took me years to be able to get at like Saturday Night Laugh Factory.
I'm ashamed of it. I'm almost, I'm super self-conscious about it. Because I feel like, because they'll go, hey, when you post this, I'm like, do I have to tell everyone I got this spot? Like, can you just put me up last?
Why?
Like, I don't know. I don't know, because I didn't put in the same work you did.
No. You can't think that way, because here's the deal, bro. Is that if it was just you going from the UFC straight to stand up, if that was it, maybe, but no.
Yeah.
Because what you did also was Brian Callen, okay? Brian fucking Callen is one of the funniest, and we have to agree on one of the most intrinsically funny guys you ever meet in your life. I honestly, if I was on an island and I could pick 4 people to live forever, he wouldn't be on it. But he wouldn't be on it.
Because after a week, you want to kill him.
Yeah, I want to kill him. Yeah,
you want to eat his face.
If there was like 1,000 people I got to choose,
he'd be
one of the 1,000. Okay,
that's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You don't have to see him.
No.
Yeah, you can still live on the other side of the island.
Yes.
But he has always been one of those guys where like, oh my god, this guy's so. You ask, if you've met him, everyone knows.
Mm-hmm. He has so much talent.
He has so much talent. But he did a podcast before Fighter Than Kid.
He had 19 listeners.
Yeah, which I did. And I remember saying to myself, you have to. Driving there, I was like, you have to do it. He's a friend.
You didn't try to try?
No, I didn't try. No, I did try by saying, I'm a fan.
Oh.
You know what I mean? But I wasn't a fan of his podcast, but I was a fan of his company. I tried there, right? And I remember doing it going, no one's going to listen to this. Right? And then one day I see a post or something about Fighter Than the Kid. Didn't know what it was. And then I realized, it's Callen's new thing with this guy. I think I've seen this guy around. This big guy. So and then it became a hit.
Yeah. And I think you have the funniest moment on there. I think they posted it. You have the funniest moment on there. We were talking about getting molested. I'm telling you, it's the hardest I've ever laughed. And I kept interrupting him, so he would go back and make it worse. He'd make the molestation worse, dude.
Yeah.
It's the funniest.
That was a funny moment.
Podcast.
He's designated a day of the year called the National Molestation Day, where everyone is obligated to give him gifts on the day that he was molested.
We get fan gifts all the time on that day.
That's when, was it November 19 or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Sorry to interrupt, but we have an amazing sponsor.
Goat is, listen, guys, if you know me, don't know me, it's fine. But if you do know me, you know that I love several things. I love sandwiches, but I also love shoes.
Yep.
And I love authentic shoes. I don't wait in line for them, right? But I'm so glad that this website, it's a website, right?
Yeah.
Is here. It's called Goat. And if you're buying sneakers online, this is the only place to go, to be honest with you.
It's the safest way to buy, sell authentic sneakers online.
Yeah, it really is.
And they go through a whole process of authenticating each and every pair.
Yeah, I've bought 3 sneakers off of this site. And I've never been more happier. I love this so much. Tell them about it.
Guys, find the perfect 100% authentic sneaker at goat.com/belly. That's goat.com/belly. Plus, you'll be supporting our show, but you've got to go right now before the sneakers you want are gone. When you go to goat.com/belly, spell GOAT.com/belly. Enjoy the rest of the show.
You watch Game of Thrones?
Do I ever?
No.
Favorite show of all time.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Good, because we want to talk about... Because we haven't talked about it.
Not yet.
Really?
The final...
Worried about spoilers or some shit?
No.
Don't worry about
No,
it.
Let's release that.
Yeah. Let's do it. What'd you think? I'm going to ask you this. Season 8 in general, what do you think?
Love. Absolutely love it. There's a lot of haters out there.
Wow.
And they're like, the story and all that. I'm like, shut the fuck up. That thing's so goddamn good. Episodes 3 and 5, ridiculous. Jaw-dropping. Better than any movie I've seen in a long ass time.
Right.
Episode 8, the finale, wasn't a fan. But I didn't like it. I didn't leave satisfied.
Right.
I wanted more out of it.
You're right.
I don't like the way it ended. But the season in general and everything, anytime someone's getting famous or a show's getting real popular, the cool thing to do to get attention is to hate on it. So everyone's hating on it, right? Because that's going to get you attention. I thought it was brilliant, man.
Yeah. I rewatched The Long Night, which is the third one you just mentioned.
Out, dude.
And what I did was I watched also the other day Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, the last fight, because I heard that there was comparative. They were comparing. People were comparing the two wars and things, and God, The Long Night outshined. I mean, the Game of Thrones was beautiful. I mean, the CGI is amazing. But and people complained about the darkness of the third one.
I like that.
I did
Me
too.
too.
It felt like I was experiencing what they're going through.
That's very good that
I
you said.
loved it.
Yeah, it felt real in that way.
And have you heard the director? He goes, that's exactly what they wanted. People are like, oh, I can't see. He's like, they can't see.
Yeah,
They're battling these fucking monsters.
Yeah.
It made it scarier, yeah.
Yeah, I was scared.
Yeah, and then there was one shot where Sam Tarley is standing there, right? And this is when they're attacking, right? And he does a thing with his eyes, and I think I think it was just an organic acting thing that he did, where it was like darting. Like,
he's looking at when
the
flames are going out.
Yeah, no, even after the flames are going out now, and then now he hears them like running toward him, and his eyes are darting. It's only a 2-second cut to him, right? I got the fucking chills, bro.
Yeah,
you know, it was great acting by him. Yeah, everyone, even like Brienne goes, "Hold your She goes, "Hold the line." Something or whatever.
How she didn't die, I have no idea, but yeah.
Why?
I thought she was gonna die episode 3.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, but why?
Oh, because she
was in the front row, and and they just knighted her. So I'm like, oh, she's going.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
done.
Oh, that
Because we cared about that character so much,
Right.
she's going.
Yeah.
The people complain that not enough characters died that episode.
Yeah.
I wanted so much. When it ended, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Standing applause, just fucking.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. Me
It was so
fucking
good.
too.
I think that everyone is so quick to shit on it, but I managed my expectations of the season. You have 6 episodes to wrap up so much in such a small, like those parameters are very tight. So for what they delivered to me was perfect.
But also, any angle they go, the reason why you love Game of Thrones is usually it's pretty unpredictable. So that unpredictability is what people like. So now in this season, if the narrative's not going the way these people want, they get online and complain.
Yeah.
But the negativity on social media, that's what people do.
I mean,
that's what they
let
do.
me defend.
Because if I post, oh man, this is great, you're gonna get 1,000 comments of people being negative.
Yeah.
Let me defend the people that are complaining. Okay, I get it. All right, you invest. It's more than 8 years because they took a 2-year hiatus.
I didn't, you know how you binged like 4 seasons like
That's what I
3
did.
years ago?
Yeah, I started 2 years ago.
I started 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Here's my thing: it doesn't matter. We
But
saw the
what I'm
same.
saying
amount.
is,
Exactly.
I
dude.
love it when
but
people are
what
like,
I'm
bro,
saying is-
I've invested 10 years. I'm like, cool, man.
Yeah.
2. We saw the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
No,
people
what I'm
invested
saying
3
is
weeks.
They use that as a
binged it.
reason as to why they're more upset than the other other people like you started 2 years ago.
Right,
but I'm
right.
saying as someone who watched it 8 years in,
Yeah.
I was still perfectly happy with it.
Yeah, but I understand that, but I also understand why people are sad about it because a lot of people invested all this time. You know, I think people get hooked on the show because of, when Ned Stark gets beheaded, like these moments.
Yeah, but
right, the Red Wedding,
Red
these
Wedding.
moments, right?
Oh, the Red Wedding. You kidding me? But also, don't get that into a goddamn show where it affects your life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's great. There's also dragons in it. So let's relax a little bit.
Yeah.
There's also dragons.
I see what you're saying. People get so obsessed and they make it like my brother got the tattoo
Of the
Of
Starks.
the
of the
sigil
Starks
of the
on
Stark
sigil of the Stark on his arm. I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah, and I'm the one
Good
that
for him, though.
Yeah. I forced him to watch it.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, look. I'm like,
Dude, I'm in.
do that?
I love this guy.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, if Game of Thrones, there's people have so much invested in this as fans.
Yeah.
There's not a scenario they could have done this last season where people would have been stoked. No matter
Yeah.
what they
Oh,
did,
yeah.
however you want to end, however you want to end, however I thought it should end, doesn't matter. They're gonna piss off this group of people. They can't win in this. It's kind of like when they do comic book movies. The nerds are so into it, and they have an idea how they think it should go, even though they've never written a script in their life.
Yeah.
They have an idea how they think it should go.
Yeah.
So there's so much hate. There's more hate than anything on comic book movies.
You think about, because I've been in shitty things. I've been in some good things, but I know generally how things are shot. I've been on movies, and I understand what people's jobs are, what cameras, director, what everyone does, video village, all these terms, the jib camera, But but you realize even when you're on a shitty sitcom or a sketch show or something, that there's still many, many hours of preparation, right? You have props, sets, rewrites, there's just so much pressure. Even on like a late night show like Mad TV that was like, people like running around like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to figure this out. It's hard, right? Now imagine now with the whole world watching, with millions of dollars at play, right? And
you're off script from the book. So that base that you started, you got to branch out to there.
Right. So that's another pressure, different animal, right? So with all those things in play, that's why I give the showrunners and HBO a pass, because it's like you guys did the best you can. You could tell. I mean, even the last episode, even though we didn't like the way it turned out, right?
I didn't complain.
Yeah, I didn't complain either. But here's how I wanted it to end. Mm-hmm. Remember, Podrick has Bran. He wheels him into the council meeting. Tyrion's there. Everyone's there, right?
Bran's getting on my nerves.
Bran the Broken?
People hate that guy.
Yeah. What, he gets on your nerves?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Why?
He's getting cocky.
But he's the king now.
Yeah, I know.
Why do you think
Dragged through the snow as a cripple.
But here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing. The entire 7.5 seasons, everything. He's like, I'm just happy to be alive, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be at. I don't want anything. And then they roll him out like, do you want to be king? He goes, why do you think I brought my ass here?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Well, now you want it? Oh, get the fuck out.
Maybe he wanted it the whole way. You
should have saw it coming.
You, Brendan.
I'll play the game.
Because
like
you could have saw it.
Hey,
this is something you don't even think about either. Nobody in
my face.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Here's the thing, dude, and people don't talk about it in the show. The guy can't use his dick.
No, they told that. Can't father children.
Sansa was
they mentioned called him out.
Right. So now imagine how he gets off. He has to warg into a pigeon.
And he has to fuck. It's a raven.
Whatever.
That's a
and the pigeon's fucking, and that's how he gets his shit off.
Kind of cool when you think about it.
Yeah, but let me say something. If you're into pigeon pussy, are you into pigeon pussy?
I don't know. Never been there.
Right. You're not.
But that's
because their pussies have feathers in it.
That's what makes the greatest ruler, though. Because if his dick is useless, then it's not going to drive his ego at all.
Yeah, you're right.
I know, but
he's
still,
gonna be a fair and just leader.
I'm just saying, when he became king, I'm like, okay, at least give him that.
Think about it. Everybody who was a eunuch in the show, Grey Worm,
asshole.
Varys. No, but he was
asshole.
He was a slave for his whole life. Yeah. What I'm saying that
overkill.
A little bit
overkill. Like all the fucking the Lannister army or the Golden Company, they're tied up on their knees,
prisoners, yeah.
Right? And motherfucking Jon Snow goes, "Hey man, just let them go or put them in prison or whatever." He's like, "No, they deserve," and he slices their neck off. That's a little too overkill for me.
It was pretty intense.
Yeah, but here's how I wanted it to end.
Jon Snow was driving me nuts too this season.
Why?
Especially the last few. He did nothing.
Like a glorified extra.
He was just like, I don't want it. And I'm like, dude, speak up.
Except his presidential speech before they burned all the bodies.
And whose voice was that? That was not his voice.
Was it not?
That was a weird voiceover.
Oh yeah, that was a weird voiceover.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
I was like,
you're right.
Yeah,
that was an ADR.
Yeah. I didn't notice.
Yeah, I did right away. I'm like,
that's not my.
It's so funny you said that because when I heard it,
that's not my Mr. Snow.
You're right about that. But the way I wanted to end is this. Just hear me out now, guys. Okay. All right, the council's there, right? Podrick brings Bran the Broken in. They have a couple of conversations, and then Podrick turns the thing around and takes him out of the room, and then Bran turns around a little bit, and you can see his eye, and it's blue.
Oh, you wanted him to be a white, the Night King.
I thought he was.
And then
for the longest,
and then if they ended it that way, we would have all been like,
"Thank you,
give it up."
That's right? We would have been like,
brilliant.
What? We wouldn't have slept for a week.
You know what my theory was? And that's fucking brilliant. That's a great
Thank you.
That's great. My theory was Bran, he was showing Jon Snow, it was all a dream. We've been watching this dream because he didn't want to take the throne. So he's showing him what happens if he doesn't man the fuck up and take the throne, what should be his. So I think maybe it's a dream. I'm like, people are going to be pissed. How are they going to tie all this together?
Right.
I thought maybe that was because
they did
the character development they cut early. I'm like, maybe they're doing that because it's a dream. Gives them an out.
Yeah. But how long is this dream, though?
Yeah, exactly. People are going to be pissed.
If it was 7 years of a dream,
I would have been furious.
Yeah.
Yours is way better. That's fucking brilliant.
No, let's not compare.
Dude, that's great.
Mine's pretty good.
Mine's terrible.
Yeah.
My dream
stupid,
theory.
Man. Yeah. Stupid. The whole Game of Thrones entire dream, Brendan, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but that's interesting because what you were saying about him being the Night King, all that stuff, there are some things in the show that they failed to explain, right? Like for instance, the symbol of the. You remember, like when a couple episodes ago, it was right before the long night. When the wildling and that other guy from the Night's Watch, they
killed the boy. Killed the boy.
And the boy was against the wall, and that symbol that they used with all the limbs.
Yeah.
They showed that symbol a bunch of times, you know.
Don't know what it means.
Yeah, I mean, it's more, you know, it's when they throw something that out like that out, they're like, oh, this is so deep because we're gonna figure out what that all means.
And you never
you never really pay it.
Were you guys upset how Cersei's and how
No, I
death?
like the way she died because it was a very insignificant death, and I think that's what Cersei deserves.
See, I wanted brutal.
Yeah, but
death for her.
that's what she wants, an audience to tell her story about how she died. There's still an ego in death, and the fact that a rock,
deep girl,
deep
killed
cut.
her. You just took a
with
deep
no
cut.
audience.
Deep cut.
No.
Yeah, then it's like, wow, that's a death you deserve with no audience and no story to tell.
Dude,
no one even fucking find your
It was
body.
a cool love story. The way it ended, very Romeo and Juliet.
How do you think,
right?
if you were writing the show, how would you have killed Cersei?
See, I don't know if you give the Arya Stark that much power. I thought she was gonna kill her, but then she killed the fucking
Night King.
the Night King and her. That's too much.
Too
What are we
much,
doing?
yeah.
Too much.
How
about the Hound?
Yeah.
And the fucking mountain battle.
That was a great
That was a
scene.
great
Yeah.
scene.
when he died by fire.
But it's also
He remember when that one time when he was in the woods and he saw the flame. That's how he basically died.
Yes.
Yeah.
but they're brothers.
cut,
What kind of brothers?
But he wasn't him. The mountain wasn't the mountain anymore. And plus, the mountain was a shit human when he was still not before he was Frankenstein.
Yeah, they didn't like each other even before. But remember
I
the
hated him.
joust?
He's the reason why his face was that way.
Yeah.
I thought about what I would do to Cersei, and what I would have done is I would have tied her up, stuck a glass bottle in her vagina.
Who's doing
They
this?
didn't
Who's
have-
doing this
they,
though?
They didn't have glass back yet then, but carry on.
They didn't have glass.
When did you ever see glass in the entire
Yeah.
series?
They had like goblets and
Oh,
stuff.
I would like to defend myself.
Glass.
real quick.
wasn't there.
Dragon glass?
No. Dragon glass was a rock. Was a
No.
something you
that's
mined.
some sort of rock.
There was a couple
on,
of buildings.
Don't
where
be ridiculous.
It's a
I've seen stained glass windows on some of the buildings.
I don't think so.
No,
There's
I don't
no
think so,
windows
sweetie.
in castles, bro.
I don't like your tone,
I'm
friend.
sorry. You know
now
what?
let me say
I get
something.
fired up.
Look
about
it
Game of
up.
Thrones.
Look it
Look it
I
up.
get fired
Look it up.
Back then, check
Yeah.
the dates. There's no.
Yeah.
glass,
Was there any
bro.
kind of
There
glass?
was plastic.
There was
There were water
plastic. That was
bottles
water
in the
bottle
last
plastic. Yeah.
episode.
Oh my God.
But I would have taken a glass bottle, stuck it in her vagina, right, and then
Okay.
taken a mallet and just shattered the glass
Okay,
in
I
her
don't know if that's
vagina.
gonna kill her, but okay.
That's definitely not.
You know what
gonna
I would
kill
have
her.
done? Remember how
Why
Daenerys'
are you
brother
like,
died?
Why are you like this?
Oh, with the melted head.
That's
Put
how
the
you would have
crown
done.
and melted her, and then we just watched like yes.
Are you still looking up the glass?
Yeah, there's glass.
I would have liked for Jamie.
I don't know.
Thank
He's
you.
on your team, bro.
No.
What'd you search? Glass.
Yep.
Dragons.
Game of Thrones glass.
I would have loved for Jamie to kill her.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
Yeah.
I thought this was
You never would. He was
But
such a down
I
ass
thought
bitch.
in my head because he was like, "Oh, I have to return," and I was so convinced that he was returning to kill her.
Oh no way! I knew he was
To
going.
stop-
That's his. No, he's so down. I thought that was romantic. Get your woman, dude. Get your fucking woman.
Can I ask you another question about it? Last thing I want to say about it is: do you think Brienne and Jamie? Do you think Brienne? I
found that
is-
awkward. When they're having sex, like, ugh, woof.
I was squealing.
Buzz's
I was so
girlfriend,
happy.
woof.
Really?
Yeah.
yeah.
I felt a complete opposite. As what was I doing? I was.
She was like,
squealing.
very excited about
Because
it.
she
was
finally
so
got some
excited.
dick.
What is that?
Because she finally got dick.
No, I just thought that I like them together. I think
I'm
that
not-
she's
No,
gonna-
what?
I honestly
she's
did.
out kicking her coverage. He's a dime piece. It's not going to work. That's not going to work.
That's not gonna work,
In
right?
what world?
Yeah.
I believe more in the dragons than her pulling him.
Yeah, there we
That's
go.
not working, man.
That's
The
exactly
dragon.
what I'm saying. I'm so glad you said that because I was saying that, but all week.
I was like, come on.
Yeah, I was saying, oh,
Jamie
yeah.
Lannister's, come on.
Yeah, come on.
But you know what? I'm into
They've got
that.
off script here.
You know what? I'm into the avant-garde look. So I like when people show skill, even though they're physically not, necessarily or they're not
That's-
prototypically good looking.
See,
I like skill, and I
Yeah.
think that's so attractive. So if I was Jamie, my dick would get so hard just watching Brienne wield that sword. That's what I'm attracted to.
Well,
I'd be more attractive if she was hot wielding that sword.
I know, but she is dating me because of that fact. Because she said a long time ago, like, physically, let's be honest. Physically.
What?
Why'd you laugh like that, you fuck?
Because you're admitting. I disagree.
Well, don't smile. I'm going to tell you again, all right?
Your skill outshines
Don't smile.
Because and you hold on. Let me justify this.
Yeah.
You've lucked out because and you know this. I'm not hitting on your girl. You're very pretty, but this wouldn't last if you didn't have the personality. So you can also get, a pretty girl. But you're lucky because she has the brain, right? And she has a personality. So that's what you're attracted to at the end of the day. Is the same. You guys are attracted to the same thing.
Yeah,
because looks goes out the window.
And I honestly
Jay-Z's sick of fucking Beyonce.
You're right. Find a pretty girl, and I'll find you a hot guy who's sick of fucking her. But what I'm saying is, he's not wrong, because I think that if I were a 4, I still truly believe you would date me and love me and be in love with me.
Oh, I disagree.
Me?
Yes.
I disagree.
I don't
disagree.
know.
Fuck, I can't.
Was that the point? Was that the point I was making?
That was the point you were making.
No. The only reason it worked is because you're really hot, but the reason why it's been the longevity is because your personality.
No, let me ask you this. Now,
because you wouldn't have got in the door if you look like Adele.
There we go.
You know what I'm saying?
But if you somehow
shout out to Adele. Shout out to Adele.
I love it. I think Adele's hot. I think Adele's hot, by the way.
She's so hot.
I think she's hot too.
Yeah, thank you, babe.
You're so done with that. Adele is so hot.
So hot.
You're so done. Oh my God.
Hey, you two.
Yeah,
if she couldn't sing, you sure as fuck wouldn't be saying that.
She's a cute coffee girl barista. She looks like one of those baristas like in Phoenix.
She looks like Amy Schumer. She looks like Amy Schumer.
No, she doesn't
with
look
a better
like
face. With a better face, and she can sing.
She doesn't look like Amy Schumer. You're your fucking mind, dude. No. She's cute.
And she has the winged eyeliner. She's so cute.
All right,
yeah, when she's in concert, then when she goes back, looks like Chris Farley.
Whoa, dude, no, whoa. You gonna give a pound on that? What's your fist about?
No! Yes! I pounded it up. Yes, no, he agreed. Fuck yeah, he agreed.
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, you're the only cool one here.
Brendan, I'm gonna defend Adele real quick, okay? You can tell that Adele, right?
Sweet person.
Not a sweet person. That she structurally, she has a beautiful face. What you're seeing is that she's a little heavier.
I like thick chicks.
Really?
I don't like fat chicks.
Yeah. Now with Khalyla, I want to say this. She hooked me in with her looks, but if she was in a car accident and then she looked like Harvey Dent.
Yeah, you're out.
No, I'm in because I love her now.
I didn't know where you're going with this. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Okay, I don't know where we're going.
For sure out.
You know what though? You're not wrong. You're not
wrong. But what hooked you was originally the looks. If she looked like if she was busted, you'd be like, great personality. Would definitely be friends.
Yeah, but you know what? He has been with really hot chicks in the past.
But they don't have personality.
It's not that. This is the first date I spat inside his mouth and I backhanded him. That's what hooked him.
Here's the thing. If you were hideous and spit in his mouth and backhanded him, you'd be in prison. Like he's not inviting you over to the crib.
He'd press charges.
So you think that I get away with backhanding him because I was
on the
cute
first
at that
date?
time?
On the only reason you got away with it. When people go, looks don't matter. I get that. I agree. At the end of the day, it doesn't. But looks matter initially. Initially, the looks is everything because it's all we know about you.
You do have
That's
a point
what Bobby's attracted
because
to.
My sister the other day, she was on a plane and this really fat, creepy guy kept hitting on her daughter.
Does she look like you?
And no. My niece is a very, very pretty girl. And she was getting hit on by this like really fat, grotesque man.
Juliana?
Yeah.
Oh my
then her mom was getting really upset, like that sick fuck. Why would he she's like 16 years old. And then I was like, well, honey, that's her name. I'm not kidding. Oh, okay. I was like, honey, what if
great name.
What if he was like what if he looked like Brad Pitt? Oh, he'd be allowed to stare. And it's true. Like we have
because that's all you know about him.
Yeah.
But that's all you know about him is
like
this creepy fat guy. And
they're creepy when they don't live up to a certain,
but I don't think there's anything wrong
standard.
with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But it's kind of fucked up, though.
Why is it fucked up? But because it's in our DNA to like pretty things. Babies, when they see people, they are attracted to the more pretty, well-defined face. It's what that makes them happy. It's not my choice that I don't like fat girls. It's in my DNA. It's my taste.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Am I a bad person for this? I'm sorry.
No.
Should we go back talking about dragons? I apologize.
Brendan, I met Khalyla on Tinder, and
what made you swipe right?
That's exactly what I was going to. So I go ugly, Long Beach. She seems a little Asian.
Little Asian.
Right? So initially, you're right. I found her, you know what? I found her legs. She had a couple of photos of her legs, too, that I really liked.
But it was her face originally.
Her face, but then her legs also was the closer.
Not
the whole
a single
package.
picture of my leg on there.
There was,
There's like pictures of me free diving.
No, what happened was
your legs are on there.
I did some research,
Yeah.
too. I went onto your Facebook or Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
And found her physically attractive.
Yes.
Then it just so happens that you have a ton of personality and your guys' souls mesh together.
She was also the first girl I saw naked. Right?
Can we not go?
The first girl ever?
No, I've seen it. No.
It's getting weird, man.
No. I've seen it.
It's the first naked body I've seen since that Down syndrome came out.
But when
No wonder you're keeping her tight.
Yeah, but when I saw her naked, I've done this before, but rarely. Where I look at the body and I look up at the heavens
And you realize there's a guy.
and I go, "Thank you."
Me too. Thank you, baby. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's only happened like twice in my life.
Me too. Yeah.
But is that why you ran away midway through the first time we had sex?
Yeah.
You ran?
He ran.
It was too much for
away.
me. It
was too
Like
good.
he just got up.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
left, and
Yep.
then
I left.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It was like literally like, it's like getting. What do you mean? Why are you laughing?
No, I'm recalling it now. I remember feeling like, what the fuck?
I remember
Where
it
it
being
was so good, yeah.
Imagine playing Pong
Okay.
in the early 80s, right? 70s, right? And then all of a sudden someone gives you Red Dead Redemption right after that.
Oh, straight up.
Gives you like a PS4, like check this shit.
Yeah. And you're like, I don't
fuck
even
am
know
I
how
gonna
it
do with
works. Yeah.
I don't want to ruin
The
it.
colors and the definite,
You're a PS4.
That's what she was.
You're a
Yeah.
PS4.
I was doing Pong, right? And some weird, like simple shit. And then she came along. I'm like, this is fucking technical.
Yeah.
Right? This is very technical.
Graphics
That's
card.
so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. She, I love her.
Brienne.
Do you guys want Nah, kind of. Do you guys want kids?
He does.
I think Bob would be a great
How
dad.
were,
Why
how
do you
were
say
you
that?
able to decide?
Wait, who's
like,
answer?
did you always
Whose
want
phone is
kids?
this?
That'd be my manager.
Oh.
Why?
Probably giving me the ratings on my special, which I don't want to find out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you did a special.
Did a special on
Nerve
Showtime.
wracking. Like to just sit and wait and then like.
I don't want to know. Does it matter? I mean, it was trending and doing really well on Friday, which made me happy, and I celebrated with my brother in New York, but I don't really want to know. It's just going to hurt it's not going to help anything. Like, it is what it is. A special, it's the best I could do.
Yeah.
I thought it was
You
really
never
good, but what are we
live-
going to do?
You never live in the results.
Correct.
You just do the best you can.
Correct.
And you did it. And can I say this too, Brendan? That's not your last one.
No, correct.
You're gonna do another one. All right. I didn't realize you had one, but congratulations.
Oh, thanks, brother.
It's on Showtime?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Debuted on Friday. It's called You'd Be Surprised.
You'd be surprised.
And you get, if people are like, oh, I don't have Showtime, that's fine. If you do Showtime.com, promo code Schaub, you get 30 days free of Showtime. So you can watch my special on demand. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Cool.
So you're good.
Where'd you shoot it at?
Spreckles Theater in San Diego.
Spreckles.
Spreckles.
I love that because I grew up there. I remember like Margaret Cho played Spreckles a couple times, and that's a nice little theater.
It's my favorite place to do comedy, San Diego. First time at Spreckles, but La Jolla Comedy Store is my favorite club in the world.
Why?
Really?
By far.
That's my home.
I know. I don't think, and I've been doing comedy for 3 weeks, so hear me out. I don't think a special should be shot in a theater. I don't think the medium's made to be shot and felt inside that many people, especially arenas. I think it's made to be performed inside a club like La Jolla or like Comedy Works or the Ice House or at the Comedy Store or the Main Room.
Really?
I think so. After the small experience I've had of shooting a special, I went, oh, I wouldn't do a big theater again. I like the intimacy.
Yeah. That's interesting because I want to do one too. And I'm going to do one in the end of the year. But
Are you gonna do one?
Yeah, I'm going to do one. But I'm trying to think to myself.
It would fucking crush.
I'm going to do one.
Oh, I can't wait, man.
Yeah, but I'm when you said that just now, I think it just changed my whole thinking.
I'm telling you, brother.
would they shoot in the main? Was the main room too big? You think?
No, I think the main room's perfect, especially for someone like you. The main room's amazing.
Yeah,
it makes so much sense for you to do it in the main room.
But the problem with the main room,
you can feel it, man.
Yeah, but it's not only that though. The problem is that in my head, I don't want other comics for some reason to be able to come in and out of the main room.
They're not going when you're shooting a special. They're not going to.
Yeah, but
it's Bobby Lee's fans, and then you're gonna have some people there. But when they're shooting, it's different. They're not be able to come in and out, and everybody's just waiting for you to do this. So no one goes, I don't want Bobby shoots. Everyone is praying that you shoot a special.
Right. I would do 2 in one night and then edit it together.
Yes.
That's so funny that I made me consider that the main room. But here's another thing I would consider is La Jolla because that's where I started. Why do you like La Jolla?
I like La Jolla. There's certain clubs where I can it's gonna sound crazy. I can feel like the history. I can like it means something when I go in there. It's like it's smaller and there's so much tradition and history there.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel there's certain places. I'm a real sensitive person. There's certain places where I feel the love. Like when I'm at the Comedy Store, I feel protected. When I'm at La Jolla, I feel like I should be there. I don't know how to describe it. There's certain places I go, I'm like, I should not be here. But when I go to the Comedy Store, especially La Jolla, I'm like, I should be here right now. This is exactly what I should be doing.
Yeah.
You know, when you brought that up, it gave me like a burst of nostalgia, you know, because I started there, and I remember, you know, when you don't know what you want to do with your life and you're confused, and you don't have a plan, and you know you're praying to God like, what am I going to do in my life? I have no education, I have no skills. You know, I'm an okay waiter. You know, I'm okay at making coffee, but you can't make any money doing those things. At the end of the day, like, how am I going to buy a house?
Yep.
And when I was 23, I got a job at the La Jolla Comedy Store as a phone guy. I was a bar back, but I also worked the phones. And I remember being there during the day. And now, imagine not ever thinking you could do comedy or be in show business, right? And now you're answering phones at a comedy club at that that La Jolla club. So during the day, there's light that goes through those little, you know. And I would sit there by myself in that place and answer phones and take reservations. And I remember feeling like I was in a church. Like, I don't know what being in church feels like,
right,
but that's what it felt like. It felt like I was on some sort of like holy ground, and that who knows what's going to happen in my life. There is a photo on my Instagram of me working the door at La Jolla.
That's so cool.
And but when you brought that up, though, it
triggered some of those memories.
Yes,
I think too. Like when you're doing La Jolla and you're staying on the in the condo that's on the beach.
Wait, you stayed there?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. You know about that condo?
Yeah, I do. So that they've redone it. So I've stayed in it 3 times or twice.
Yeah.
But they've redone it. So it's all new now, so it looks amazing. Before then, it was a bit of a beast.
Were you there when it was bad?
I was there when it was bad.
When it was blue.
It was terrible.
I'm going to tell you what happened.
But hold on, before you get to that, the reason why it could have been just a bed filled with roaches. But to me, I've heard stories where Jim Carrey stayed there, and he was my hero. So I just wanted to be like him. I wanted to stay there because Jim Carrey was there, and then do shows at night, and then just walk around and eat fucking fish burritos. Like to me, that felt like it's the first time I was like, I don't know. It's like it's almost like comedy heaven when you're doing that. Like if there's sold out shows.
Perspective about that condo than he does.
I bet.
Like I would never stay there. He's just nut on the wall.
But
I'm sure. More nut, the better for me. I'm like, did Jim Carrey nut on this wall?
There's this guy named Steve Moore who had HIV. He was a gay comic. And when I first did a weekend in La Jolla back in probably the late 90s, he was staying at the condo. Him and this other gay guy named Brian Bradley.
All right.
And I was at the condo with them hanging out. And they were going, Bobby, in their early 80s, me and so-and-so, we did a weekend here. And Brian came down too. And we were at a gay club. And then 60, 70 dudes showed up at this condo. And we did a train.
Yeah. Oh, man, a lot of
and we nutted all over the walls. That's why it's so blue in here. not on the ceiling, right? So every time I would,
Why you gotta ruin this for me, bro?
I know,
That's why when you were talking
That place was special to me, man.
That's when you were talking about
Now I
eating
can't go
burritos
back
and
there,
stuff.
man. I was like, I just want. I would get on the walls. I'd rub my burrito on the walls.
yeah. And he also had HIV, right? So every time I go in that condo after that, I would.
Now I'm not staying there.
I know, but that actually happened. Imagine all the things that
How
happened.
dare
there.
they ice the walls?
I know.
Look,
that-
it's still
Fucked up,
part of
man.
history.
It's a part of the history,
That's
man.
what make that place great.
But it's so funny because I know where that condo is. I know during the day when you wake up, there's like a cool breakfast restaurant like there.
The beach is right there.
And when you said that with the Jim Carrey and the history, and then you staying there, overnight, and being also from not from the comedy world, but from a different thing, and now you're in this world, and now you're doing it for real. Wow! Congratulations, man!
Thanks,
That feels so cool, man. And that's why I always told you, there is something about right. There is something I like what you're doing in your life.
Oh, yeah.
You're a very funny guy. You're a talented guy.
He does stand
He's
up?
an actor. Yeah, he does everything. This guy. He's from Second City in Chicago.
He crushed his first time doing stand up, and it was obnoxious.
Yeah,
and
the first time he went up, he crushed.
How
He's
many
very
times have you gone up
talented.
since?
2.
What the fuck are we doing?
And what are we doing?
I'll just stand up.
Yeah, but you can do
You
it.
don't want to.
Right now, the grind.
Oh, you don't want it bad enough.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm out. What are you saying?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, I don't have time for
Exactly.
that.
I don't have time to it either, but give me a second, okay? What I'm saying though is that I know you're reluctant on doing it. Look at your fact. You're already fucking.
I'm
you're
trying to
rebellious.
listen.
You're always rebellious already,
listening,
right?
I'm listening.
And I know that. But being that, because I go on the road, and you don't think that now I'm in the audience and people go licks, yeah.
It's her tagger name from high school.
Yeah, Gil. Yeah, people know your names, right? Mm-hmm. So what that makes me aware that sure you might not be able to sell as many tickets as me, but you would sell some, and that's still more than most.
That doesn't sound like a.
Are you telling?
Wait, you want me to
telling
go
me-
on a tour?
You want to go on tour? And he doesn't want to do stand up
That doesn't sound like
because
a
he
very,
can sell 7 tickets on the road.
No, that's not what I'm
ringing
saying.
endorsement, babe.
No, what I'm.
But
can
you
sell
wanna be
7
an actor.
tickets.
No,
Yeah,
the
I'm trying to pitch shows and stuff.
Yeah, that's his thing.
Yeah, you better. I would pick one.
Yeah.
I'd pick one and ride with it.
That's what he's doing. He picked one and then really went full force with it.
That's exactly what you do.
Because
Because comedy's too tough. If you're not all in,
tough.
man, you're gonna
I
get
know, but
ran
Like
the fuck
George is all
over.
in.
With comedy?
Doesn't sound like anyone's all in here. Besides Bobby. No, he's in too. And he went. Not really.
Starting up, guys, we have another sponsor.
Hymns. I love hymns. Hymns is something that I wish existed when I was a young man because I had so many problemos.
Yeah.
I had penis problemos.
Oh.
I had
Hair
problemos. And when you're waiting tables and you're not making the kind of money that you want to be making and you want expert advice like medical advice, sometimes you just can't afford it to go see a specialist. But Hims is the perfect place to go because it's very affordable and you can get real expertise on things that you have issues with if you're a man. Like, Michael Roosevelt had dick issues, right?
Yep.
What kind?
He had what is it called?
Premature
squirts early.
Early squirter.
squirts.
Yeah.
And he uses Hims.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell them about Hims.
Guys, our listeners get a special offer. You can get started for just $10. Just go to forhims.com/tiger to get started. That's forhims.com/tiger. See website for full details and safety information. And be like Michael Rosenbaum.
Be like Michael. And also, when we do ads here on TigerBelly are things that we participate in. Mm-hmm. So we're backing this 100%. Hims. If you're a guy, you're foolish for not to use it.
Mm-hmm. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Oh, no. Let's not get into this.
No, I don't want to get it. I just need to say this.
Yeah, I don't want to
I want to say
create
this.
conflict.
Is that I'm pretty
Have
sure.
you ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect?
No.
It's when people are so certain that they are skilled at something and are completely delusional about actually not having that skill.
Sure.
That's the Dunning-Kruger effect.
What skill does he think he has?
Stand up.
Stand up.
Need an opener?
But you've never done. Hilarious.
Do it, Schaub.
You've never done stand up?
Oh, I opened for Bobby now.
He opened for me in Irvine, and can I just say this? It was almost as if I went to Africa, right? And I just went into a kid who had the big belly, hasn't
starving, dehydrated,
and just brought him on stage and go do stand up.
And
that's
he's
how.
like, what?
Yeah, he would do better than him. I mean, this guy right here, right? Oh my God, he came. We knew that he was going to do stand up. He drove all the way to Irvine, and we had our things out. We had our things out.
I'm a good friend.
Our
Good
phones
friend.
out, right? And we were laughing at first because he was eating it so bad.
That's great.
But then I remember, what did I say to you? Light him.
Light him.
Oh, that was like 5 minutes in.
I know, 5 minutes. I said,
but
light him.
also, I'm assuming the crowd knew who he is.
No.
No.
Well,
They-
yes.
They have an idea.
Yes.
Now, if you try that at like the Comedy Store where no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
You're not gonna last 5 minutes.
I know.
That wasn't the worst part. The
What was
worst part is him.
Pulled out his dick or something.
No, the worst part is
That would have crushed. That would have
That would have
crushed.
been a good
The
close.
worst
Like, you know what?
is-
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Hail Mary.
It'd been awesome.
He thought he did brilliantly.
He's one of those.
That's a
that's a
Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
You're not one of those.
No.
That's how. You know how I can tell you're not. You know how I can tell you're not one of them?
What?
Because you're self-conscious about
Super self-conscious.
you, even because when you started going to the comedy clubs, even talking to you, you could feel that you were kind of self-conscious, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm doing it. You know what I
Like
mean?
a punter on the football.
You know
Right.
what? You're right.
I'm on
you
the
said you're
team.
sensitive, right?
Yes.
So maybe you're more like an empath, so you can sort of gauge how.
I'd
like,
rather
your
be a
audience is doing.
guy to go, I bombed, than I killed.
There's nothing. I have a trigger when people are like, dude, I just killed that thing. I'm like, all right, well, let me talk to the audience. Let me,
I know, right?
Easy, bro.
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah.
Because I've seen. But here's the other thing: is it's maybe it's why I've gotten where I've got, I guess, fast, quote unquote. But at the Comedy Store, I'm watching the best of the. It'd be like if you're like, I'm gonna try basketball. Let me just go check out this All-Star game. Holy fuck, these guys are good. Like that's the level.
That's another reason why my hats are off to you, because you're now going to these places. I told this to Rappaport too, Michael Rappaport, because he was nervous one time. We're behind in the main room. He seemed a little nervous. I'm like, yeah, but dude, you're in. This is the A. This you know what I mean. You're competing.
That should be more nerve-wracking, I think.
It's way more nerve-wracking.
His nerves should be worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yours should be too, though.
100%.
Because you're playing. Yeah. I don't understand how you do that. Like, because I was raised in that room. I've been in the Comedy Store since 1997.
Yeah.
Right. So I know every facet. I know everyone that's played there. I know I've done the Tonight Show.
Yep.
Right. So I
don't brag, but yeah.
I wasn't bragging.
Okay.
You know,
All right,
I'm just
sorry.
giving you facts.
I know this. But,
Right?
Yeah.
You fucking goon.
I know. Dude.
You're a thick-faced goon, huh?
Would you do the Tonight Show right now? Different time, right?
Jimmy Fallon.
No.
You know who's bigger than all those shows? Joe Rogan.
I know.
If you know what, our Johnny Carson's Joe Rogan. now.
Yeah, I agree.
I know, and he hasn't asked me. I haven't done his show in 5 years.
I bet you if you do a special, you will.
No.
You don't think other comics are frustrated you haven't done a special?
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why he doesn't have me on,
That's what I'm saying.
because he's
Frustrated.
frustrated. He's frustrating. I frustrate him.
That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah, but-
frustrated everyone.
Why do I frustrate you?
You don't frustrate me. I want.
Well, then why'd you say
I want greatness for you. I think if you did a special, it would absolutely crush. I think if you were on Netflix, it would blow people away.
You know what, dude? It's so fucking dumb. I'll tell you how dumb you guys are. Can I tell you how dumb you are?
Please do.
Callan does the same fucking bullshit.
Different animal. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
but Callan
Go ahead.
does it. Brian Callan will walk up to me and goes, "Man, you have so much potential."
Potential.
Yeah, and I
No,
look at
we're
him. I go-
past potential.
I know, but I'm like, because people try to motivate me.
I'm not trying to motivate you.
People try to motivate me.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Right.
You have great sense.
And I'm sorry.
You don't have to do anything.
We're way past our time, Brent. So we're gonna do the thing called unhelpful advice, but I'll lead you into it.
What do we do? Unhelpful advice?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was reading my text. I apologize.
I love your
some
family.
Some girl, Charlotte, just texted me needs money.
Let me ask you
I'm
something.
gonna invest.
You've done
I
other
feel good about it.
podcasts before. Would you do this again?
Your guys's?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
100%.
be in a much better place.
No,
We
Don't
bought
stop,
we bought a
stop.
house. You know that,
We're
right?
at Oh, love it.
And there's a studio. We have a nice place.
Oh, I love it, man.
Yeah.
But we would love to have you back when we're in the new place.
Literally, whenever you want.
I just can't believe this is the first time you're doing it. I mean, we've had a bunch of people on a bunch of times, and
you've had all my friends on,
and I've asked you
it was just
so many
it was a
fucking
Monday
times.
night thing. It was just a Monday night thing.
The Monday night thing's not going to change. So it's either
I don't know what to tell you.
We'll be here.
We'll be
for
here.
you,
Then
we'll
you know
wake
what?
up on a
Then
Tuesday
keep on
early in the
trucking.
morning.
And keep on keeping on. You guys
Because
are
I woke
great.
up early in the morning to do your.
It was 1 o'clock.
It's
I
fine.
hear you,
That's
though.
morning. I'm a comic.
Yeah,
That's
you're right.
morning
No,
for
me too. I
us,
got up
okay.
at 6 a.m. Not a big deal.
Your kid though, what is that?
I
like?
always get up
What
at
is
6.
that? What is that like?
It's the best thing in the world. Makes you realize that none of it
Really?
really.
But going into it, before he was born, did you have
I was so selfish.
trepidations?
I was so selfish. Selfish because I'm in entertainment and as an athlete, you got to be kind of a narcissist. It's all about you. The world revolves around you. Then we have a kid, and I'll be honest. Everyone goes, dude, right when he's born, you have this connection. It's gonna be crazy. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. He comes out, I'm all, not really there. He's just like a football with eyes. He needs his mom. He needs his mom so bad. I'm like this side piece that makes sure that they don't die.
Yeah.
But like his grandma's there and they're taking care of him. I'm sleeping on the couch. I'm like, this shit sucks, dude.
Yeah.
And then probably like 3 months into it, he starts to get a little bigger, like figure things out, and it's the best thing in the world. And like I've done cool stuff in my life, man, through football. Even sniffing the NFL and playing in big college football games, fighting UFC in some of the biggest fights in the world. Sold out arenas. Sold out theaters and stand up and shooting a stand up special. Just bought a Ferrari. Like bought my dream house. Right. I'm not bragging. I've done cool shit, man. Nothing compares. When I come home from this at 4 o'clock, my son runs up and hugs me. Goes, "Daddy," and runs up to me. So that's why I can't do podcast Monday night. That's why when people ask me to do stuff, I can't do it. That's why when Bravo goes, "Hey, we want you to do a show in New York. We'll pay you this much money." I'm like, not happening.
Yeah.
You could pay me Beyonce money. I'm not going out there. I'm telling you, man. I've done cool shit. There's nothing better than having a kid.
Now,
If you're a good dad.
would you consider, even before you had the kid, did you know that you were going to be a good dad in terms
Yes.
of providing and making sure that the kid was safe?
For sure.
That's what we're concerned about.
Oh, no way. Bobby's a good person.
No, he's a good
so
person.
he's going to figure it out.
He's going to offer time and fun and obviously a lot of those like emotional things, right? But
He's gonna be the
will
funnest
he
dad.
leave his medication on the counter every day for the kid to open? Probably.
I'm telling you, he won't, because the kid's going to be around and you're going to realize how fragile they are. And the world becomes so scary. So when my kid's at school today, and this is weird, I have the anxiety like I've never had before about my son. I got to worry about, he's in a popular school. I'm like, would a shooter go there? So I started looking at other schools. Now
shit.
I used to be, and he's 3.
Yeah.
I used to be that guy like Bobby. I'd just leave things out, wouldn't think everything. Your mind changes. Everything changes.
Now,
And
is
so
that a guarantee though? Because if it doesn't change,
guarantee it is. Guarantees because he's not a bad person.
he's not.
You wouldn't be with him if Bobby. I
Right,
guarantee you he will change. And I'm saying it's not even a change. You don't even know what's happening. Like my financial advisor goes, remember when we told him we're gonna have a kid? I go, yeah. He goes, let me show you the income you had before he was born. Let me show you a year later. I subconsciously didn't do anything. I just went into this dad mode. I'm like, oh shit, I got a kid on the way. I need to get my shit together. And I already had my shit together, kind of.
Yeah.
But you just naturally go in this dad mode and all these other revenue streams start coming in, or this thing I was thinking about doing, I fucking did it. Now it's killing it for me. This thing over here, I'm thinking about touring this much. I tore that much. So all these certain things started happening that just subconsciously as a papa now, it happens.
Wow, that's incredible. That was the best pitch I've ever heard when it comes to kids.
And I don't say that to everyone. There's certain people who go, dude, should I have kids? I go, I don't know, man. You got to figure it out, because kids are so, I'm just like, no, you figure it out.
Yeah,
That's me being like, fuck no.
Yeah.
But there's certain people I meet where I'm like, you got to have kids.
That was the-
And here's my thing, Bobby. And I don't know you that well, but the time I spent with Bobby, the world's filled with shit, sometimes shit people. You owe it to the world, and you have skills.
Don't fucking do
serious.
that.
I'm serious. You owe it to people to have
Like
kids.
I'm Neo
But
in
you
Matrix.
also-
I'm not
you're
Neo
not-
from Matrix.
No. Hold on, Bobby.
yeah,
because
yeah.
because you're a good person. You've gone through experiences that you can pass down to a child.
That's where it gets a little hairy, because him and I both have murderers in our families, addiction.
Oh, come on.
But eugenics, we're
but
bound
you've
to make
learned
a
for that.
serial killer.
No, you're not. Get out of here.
Yeah,
But
we're not.
you've learned.
You
from
know
it.
we're not.
You
Fuck,
guys are
baby,
two
that's
good
crazy.
people, but also those serial killers and those shit people in your family start because they have shitty parents.
That's true.
Serial killer kids. That guy. Look at him right now.
I believe that.
Right.
I love
100%.
The shirt's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, your kid is like fucking the new Cho Sung Lee or some shit.
You have kids?
No.
No one
Never.
out there has kids?
No one. He can't fuck.
How old are
wants
you?
to fuck that.
How old are you?
39.
You got to get going.
No.
How old? Got to get going.
29. I'm gonna get
You're
married
good.
next
No,
year.
give it up.
Really? That soon?
She doesn't.
My dad had me when he was 60.
Gotta get it going.
He
Can we get a freeze frame on that face and make that the thumbnail?
Yeah.
Just so.
Yeah. Like Theo's dad was 70.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's her dad was the same.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have
60
demons
something.
from it?
Do I have what?
Demons from it.
What kind of demons?
You tell me.
I do.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think that growing up with a really old dad was really difficult because I
Challenging.
saw him withering away. And the
Yes.
weirdest part about it, not weird, I regret it now, but I didn't understand it as a child. But when my dad would come visit me in school, I was ashamed because everyone was like, "Oh, your grandpa's here," and I'm like, I would try to like
That's
run
what
away.
I was referring to. I'm not being mean at all.
I
but
feel fucked up about it now. I'm like, why did I
know.
do that as
I
a
know.
child? But
I
I
know.
was embarrassed of my gray-haired old father.
But when you're a kid, you don't realize it. Like I had a friend whose dad was super old. I remember he was super embarrassed about it. So that's why I asked, "Do you have demons?"
Yeah.
Because he has. I don't call him demons. He has. I would say monsters.
Yeah, but Steve Martin was in the 60s, right? When he had a kid. You think his kid is embarrassed of Steve Martin?
Not now,
Different
but as
animal.
a child,
When he's
it's
a child,
different.
it'd be tough.
But if you're a kid and Steve Martin's your dad, you're like, yeah, that's my dad. He's old, but he's Steve Martin.
yeah, he's one of the biggest names in the world. So I think it's a little different. But in general, like if you talk to Theo about it, I think you look at the world different when your dad's like, you know, you're in you're 14, 15, he's dying, man. You're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going
shame.
on here?
And it's not like my dad was some like decrepit old man when I was younger either. He would come in. He looked like a mafioso. He would always come in a suit, dark glasses, fucking attaché case all the time. Like he was like James Bond.
Yeah.
But even then,
and
the
Father
fact that
Time
he
goes,
was
cool story. Let me touch you on the shoulder.
But even then, he was a gray-haired, obviously older guy, and I just didn't want my friends to know that was my
I know.
dad.
It's a bummer, right?
It's so fucking sad.
I wish I met him.
Yeah, he was dope.
yeah.
Unhelpful advice.
You guys would be great parents, though.
Unhelpful advice with Bobby Khalyla at Brendan Schaub.
Hi, this is a girl. I'm 21 years old, and lately I've had some trouble with alcohol. I've been drinking since I was 15, and I drink heavily like every 2 weeks when going out with friends. During the past 6 months, I've had a really hard time controlling myself when I drink. On St. Patrick's Day, I made out with a 45-year-old Uber driver who my friend said was not attractive. Kept saying many inappropriate things and gave my number to him.
Probably had a great personality.
Another time I got a ride from strangers on the street. When I arrived at my location, I puked in their washing machine.
Oh, goddamn. Girl.
But the worst thing was last night where I hooked up with my soon-to-be cousin, who is also a girl. I consider myself straight, and it was the first time with a girl. After this time, I feel like I really fucked up, and I can't get over this amount of guilt. I see her at every family event. I'm scared she's going to tell my family or something. Should I quit drinking? And am I being overdramatic, or is it just typical 21-year-old behavior?
I love that. It's just 21, man. No, it's not. You got a problem.
We'll call her Sally.
Sally likes to party.
Here's what I think I like about Sally is a lot of alcoholics aren't aware. They're in such denial that they're not self-aware in that way. So what's the matter?
No, we'll talk about it later.
But she's looking at her behavior, right? Those are the ones that can get sober.
She already knows it's an issue. When she's
Right.
writing all that stuff,
Yeah.
with her going, do you guys think I have a problem? You know you got a problem. You wrote all that shit. Of course you have a problem.
Especially if that's way, like, if it deviates so far from your normal behavior. The things that you're doing while you're drinking deviate so far from who you, like, I'd fuck a 45-year-old when I was 21, and if he was an Uber, I'd fuck him anyways, and that doesn't deviate. So if I'm drinking and I do that, that's not far from my baseline, is what I'm saying. But if that's so far-fetched from your usual behavior, yeah, you have a problem.
Well, you have a problem, but yeah, she's relying on her age. So let's say you were 31 and
Yeah.
you just told everyone what you're doing. People are like, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
At 21, I wasn't doing that shit.
Really?
No, God, no. That's shit to do.
But even when I was, got sober before I was 17, at 16, I remember being at my friend Brady's house, and we ditched school, and I was a sophomore in high school, and we're smoking pot, and Brady said something to me that stuck with me forever. We're smoking pot, and he looks up at me and he goes,
He's white as shit.
yeah. He's like, dude, we're gonna be doing this forever.
Oh,
Right?
thank God
and
he
when
did
he
that.
said that to me,
Thank God he did that.
I went, hand me that thing. Right? Give it to me right now. And then I blew out, and I was like, holy fuck. I had a sense of dread. Every party, I would wake up in the next morning and be so aware of what I did and know that it wasn't normal, right? And these are the kind of things that got me sober. There's a lot, like my ex-roommate, I don't want to say his name, so many times I would tell him, I go, I think you have a drinking problem. And he was like, no, I don't. Even though he would wake up in a gutter, right, on Hollywood Boulevard.
What did you do for work?
Bartender. And he's still doing that, you know? So it's like, and every time you would say something to him, he would completely deny it and go, that's normal, right? But this girl seems like she has that awareness, which is a good thing, I think.
And I think the biggest telltale is that she feels badly.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing is fucked up.
Yeah.
Also, how do you think this ends? You keep doing that? Where do you think you're going to end
Yeah.
up? No one's successful doing that shit.
Because that post-drinking binge guilt is quite possibly something I could live without for the rest of my life. I hate that feeling.
What's the worst thing you did drunk?
Yeah, you know, I'm not a big drinker. I'm more a drinker now. I started doing stand-up comedy. But I was always in sports, so alcohol and drugs weren't really a thing for me.
You know, I also realized, and I thought this just now, is that you dress pretty good.
Yeah, I like fashion.
I know, but even like...
How would you rate what he's wearing stand-up, Bobby? How would you rate his communist gear for today?
I like the color palette.
I wouldn't want Bobby anything else. That's Bobby. That's Bobby's flavor. I couldn't, like, if I wore that, people are like, you look ridiculous. For Bobby, it looks pretty cool. Like, that is a style. Like, I've had this conversation with Rogan. He goes, dude, I don't like fucking fashion. I'm like, hold on. That's fine. What you're doing, that is a style. That shirt, those tight-ass jeans, your shoes, that's the fanny pack. That is a form of a style. You've made a conscious effort to dress like that. Yeah. I made a conscious effort to dress like this.
Yeah, I also like dressing like a Fraggle or some like a otherworldly kind of like, you know, a felt kind of creature.
He goes to these like really obscure shops on Vermont, and he buys very specific Japanese farmer pants with a pocket in front for the seeds.
Yes, see, that's dope
for harvest.
But people don't know. So when people don't know, so when like I'm on a like I was in Phoenix and I had to take a shuttle from the car rental place to the airport.
Nothing worse.
And I walked in, and a woman took her kid and went, come here, and pulled the kid close to her because I was coming on board.
No.
Yeah, it happens all the time. Like I'm so sort of
Because she thought your pants were flipped the other way around.
No, I just have
crazy.
I have this thing where I just look like I don't belong.
I disagree. You look like an artist. You dress like an artist.
I also 10 times in my life I've been at a hotel and security have come up to me and goes, "You can't loiter here." And I always go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a," and then, "Oh, excuse me, sir."
Oh, wow.
I look like I can't even afford a hotel room.
It's true because we got the new
From the
house. We
train
go
eye.
furniture shopping,
Yeah.
and they look at us like we're peasants.
Yeah.
When we go into.
Can we help you?
They should know better, especially in Hollywood.
I know.
Yeah.
Of course, this guy does something in the arts. You morons.
Or I could be like homeless.
Not really.
Is there another one?
Oh, that's it for that one.
Okay.
Shout out to that.
So
girl.
you want to? I want to plug your Showtime thing.
Yes, sir.
What are your handles?
At Brendan Schaub for everything.
Can I ask you this too? One last thing, and before we go, how come you guys
I'm in
stop
Cleveland.
asking?
I'm in Cleveland next week.
Oh, you had Hilarities.
Hilarities, Cleveland, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Have you been to that club before?
I have not. Oh, wow. Are you okay?
All right. I'm going to tell you this right now, and ask anyone, but you're going to say it after. There's this guy named Nick, who owns the place that you're playing.
Okay.
He is in his 70s.
Sure.
He looks like his body is like an young man, like an early 20s athlete.
He's like Brian Callen.
Yeah, he is so fit, so kind.
Oh, nice.
So generous.
Is there anything better than a good like manager or
no,
owner?
You're gonna walk away from that. I'm about to cry.
Me and him are gonna start a podcast together.
You might. That dude right there. I'm so jealous you're doing that room.
Oh wow! Now I'm excited.
That's
to do
one of
it.
my favorite rooms.
Oh wow!
Of
I'm super excited to do
all
it.
time, dude. Of all time.
Oh wow! I'm super excited
of
to do
Nick.
it now. Wow!
And when you
shout out to Nick.
Do you eat meat?
Yeah, I eat meat.
When you do press,
do I take a look?
The guy that drives around at Scott Ask him to take you to the best pastrami breakfast place on earth.
All right.
It's like a hole in the wall, but it's packed. And I eat there every time. You're going to love that fucking club. If you're in Cleveland, guys, go to Hilarious to see Brendan Schaub. It's a great room. He's a great comic. And I want to say this, dude. I really like you a lot, man. And I don't know why you guys stopped asking me to do Fighter and the Kid.
Get out of here.
But I'm not going to take it personally.
Dude, you could call me every Monday and be like, hey, I want to do Fire and Kid on Wednesday. We'd have you every Wednesday.
No. You guys are strong-arming me.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Open door policy.
It's not. But fuck you.
Okay.
All right, then.
I thought we loved each other,
Yeah,
man.
fuck you, man.
All right, I'll take that.
Give him a round of applause. I loved it. Come on, give him a round of applause, everybody.
Thanks again to our sponsors, Postmates, Goat, and Hims. Get $100 free delivery credit for your first 7 days using Postmates with the promo code BELLY. Find the perfect 100% authentic sneaker at goat.com/belly and get started with Hims' new premature ejaculation treatment or any of their classic products for just $10 by going to 4hims.com/tiger. Thanks to everyone who wrote us an iTunes review last week. The socials papaya to you. And to everyone else, email us a question to adviceunhelpful@gmail.com. Have a good day.